up, everybody? It is 4th of July weekend. We took the week off. I said I'd put up a classic episode. So putting up episode 37, which is when we did haunted paintings. Interesting one. The show was different back then. We took 2 breaks. It was usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours long, which was probably too long. And Lucas had his weather. There's a lot more going on in the shows. I did condense them the second time around. But anyway, please enjoy the show. You can find us at BWSSpodcast.com and on Facebook at BWSS Podcast. This is because we said so. Let's start the show. And now, recording from beautiful and sexy Miami with your hosts, Seth and Laz and Research Lucas. It's because we said so. Sure enough it's because we said so, folks. We got Seth over here in mic 1, Laz over there in mic 2.
Yo.
We got Lucas in mic 3.
Hey.
And of course, we got Alex coming back this week in mic 4. Boom. The man of many secrets. So we're pretty, whenever we have to find something, or some secrets about it, he's usually one to pick up on what's going on behind the scenes and stuff like that. And with that being said, we're going to be talking about quite a few things today. First thing, we're going to mention the Ethiopian Civil War. It's lots going on right now. It's starting to escalate. They elected a president that won the Nobel Peace Prize for the changes that he made, and now all of a sudden they're on the freaking brink. And I don't know if you guys saw the news that came out today, but it's escalated quite quickly. It's only been like a couple weeks, and just overnight it actually has gotten pretty crazy. 5 of the world's most haunted or cursed paintings. It's kind of interesting. It's it's a little bit more mysterious, and I've got the 5 paintings. We'll put them up on the screen. I'll tell you a little bit about them and see what you guys think. So Phil Collins has to evict his ex and her husband. Did you hear this shit?
What?
So Phil Collins, whose house is here in Miami. So I'm not going to ruin it, but yeah, he has to evict his ex and her new husband from his own fucking house. They're not even fucking married, by the way. So Johnny Depp was moved from Fantastic Beasts. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I've been following that.
Sure. Crashing train saved by whale tail, and hundreds of thousands of DDT barrels found leaking off the coast of California. Did you guys hear this one?
No.
So this one's a little bit newer.
DDT.
Yeah, DDT. So it was a chemical that they used. It was a life changer in a lot of ways because it was very good at killing insects, and they used it a lot to prevent malaria and polio, but a lot of airborne illnesses through mosquitoes.
That can't be good.
But then they found out that it wasn't good. Yeah, they do. You'd see videos. You look up old videos, and they'll have like these freaking. It looks like they're like dry ice. They're just blowing this stuff on people when they're on the freaking beach. Like trucks would go by your freaking house and blow it onto your house.
I think they started to do that when they had the Zika here.
Oh, yeah, but the one they did here was a little bit different. They did like a dropping from the air or some shit like that. Yeah. This one, it was just like constant maintenance, like lawn care. Come get weird. The DDT sprayed onto you and shit like that. So you can get us at BWSSpodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram is BWSScast, Twitter is BWSS Podcast as well, YouTube, we're working on it. Once we get 100 subscribers. It's time to move on to everyone's favorite segment. It's time for Quick News. All right, folks, it's Quick News. Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers' decision to sever ties with Johnny Depp. The studio's film chief, Toby Emmerich, made the decision the previous day to sever ties with the star, who is reprising his role as Dark Wizard Gellert Grindelwald. The call was prompted by a UK judge dismissing Depp's defamation claims in a closely watched trial that pitted the actor against publisher The Sun after the British tabloid referred to Depp as a wife-beater. The judge's ruling makes it a lot easier for news outlets to use similar depictions when referring to Depp's stormy 2-year marriage to actress Amber Heard, creating a PR headache for the studio. Sources tell Hollywood Reporter that Warner wanted to allow due process to take its course before making a decision on the embattled star's future in the franchise. So they're gonna have to pay him a full salary, by the way, because he has a pay clause. So
for
if it gets recast for the third,
Pirates?
not Pirates, no, it would be like Pirates 8, first of all. So, but the Fantastic Beasts, Harry Potter, yes, no?
Yeah.
Obviously, you know.
I have no idea.
Clearly. Okay. So anyway, no big deal there. But yeah, they're gonna have to pay him his full salary, and he also has something in there to where he actually officially resigned. They didn't fire him, but yeah, dude. So it looks like Johnny Depp's gonna be having some issues with getting some films. That's for sure.
That's crazy because man, he does a lot of good though.
What's that?
He does a lot of randomly good things.
He does. He does.
Like I saw that, like he goes to hospitals on his when he's reporting or filming something, he goes as Jack Sparrow to make kids happier.
Sure, sure.
Like he puts it in part of his plan. So what I read. I mean, I'm not there.
No, I mean he does. He does. I mean, do you guys think Kevin Spacey will work again with all that shit that's been going on? I'm just curious. Did you see that they killed him on the Borat movie at the very end? No? Yeah, they had a little K Spacey at the very end, just this little burn there. All right, Alex, so you're up. Train saved by whale tail.
All right, so this happened in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. So these 3 sculptors back 20 years ago did this whale sculpture on the side of a bridge. And I think the beginning of the month, I think the driver fell asleep at the wheel, or he just wanted to make himself famous.
No, I think he fell asleep. That's what they said.
Yeah, but they also said that the electronics should have stopped it. So,
okay.
I don't know. It's a little shady.
He was the only one on the train, right?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
So how did it end up crashing? Or about to crash?
Well, it just went over the side of the bridge and it landed on top of the whale tail.
Yeah.
And the whale tail was actually bent because of the aerodynamics of the wind. They wanted to sustain the sculpture over the years or whatever. But it's made of plastic on top of everything. And
sure.
It held, I think, a 30-ton train.
It's like this big tail like coming out of the ground, and the train goes off the tracks, and the front of the train just goes boop right on the whale tail.
Oh shit.
And saves the day. So, you know, let's hear it.
Yeah, man.
All right, so BBC, I thought maybe I would die. South Koreans delivery drivers demand change. You guys hear this one? Okay, so it was an hour before sunrise, 21 hours into a shift, and Mr. Kim had delivered more than 400 packages. The 36-year-old delivery driver had been working since 5 a.m. the previous day. He messaged a colleague, pleading to skip a round of parcel deliveries. It's too much, he wrote. I just can't. 4 days later, Mr. Kim was dead. He was one of 14 workers in South Korea who union officials say died because of overwork. The fates of the 14 drivers cannot be directly linked to overwork, but their family described the cause of death as kwarosa, a Korean term used for sudden death due to heart failure or stroke as a result of extreme work. Drivers in South Korea are struggling to cope with the sheer volume of online orders during the COVID-19 pandemic. Another driver who died was 27-year-old Zhang Deokjing, a former Taekwondo enthusiast who lost 15 kilograms, 33 pounds, after doing 18 months of night shifts. According to his family, he came home from a night shift earlier this month at around 6 in the morning, headed for a shower. His father found him dead, face down in the bathtub an hour later. President Moon Jae-in called for an overhaul of working conditions for delivery employees, saying they had suffered some of the worst hardships after the pandemic. So there's been protests holding up signs, "We want to live," but apparently the delivery system there is kind of crazy. And thing is, deliveries are expected within hours, not days. Yep. It's like when you order something, you expect to get it like right away. So it's a whole lot more pressure for these drivers and shit as well.
It kind of reminds me of Apple, their factory.
Oh, you mean when they were at Foxconn?
No, the ones that used to jump out the window and they need nets outside.
Yeah, if I was Foxconn, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they have nets out the window to make sure they can't commit suicide. I don't know if they still have their stuff made there. I would like to think they would have moved on, but maybe not.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. All right, Laz, you're up, man. Mental health, New York.
Oh, that's exactly what we're going to talk about after this, right?
Yeah. It's true.
Fuck. So New York City will send mental health teams instead of police to respond to some 911 calls. This is from CNN. New York City is creating new teams to respond to respond to emergency mental health calls instead of police as part of the pilot program that will launch next year. The teams will consist of EMS health workers and mental health crisis workers that will be dispatched through the city's 911 system. Officials announced on Tuesday police officers would be dispatched as backup in cases where a subject has a weapon or is threatening violence.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're like 170,000 mental health calls in the city's 911
really
call center. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's, you know how it is for police to deal with a situation where they can't deal with it.
Sure.
So they're also training the officers as well.
Sure.
And which I feel like that should have been training anyways. So that works.
That's pretty awesome.
And we just came from Mental Health Month.
Yeah, we certainly did.
Yep.
Nice. I mean, I think it's really, really necessary. And of course, having them there, I feel like whether consciously or subconsciously will cause them to, approach it differently as well. Because they're like, I certainly can't kill this person in front of this person. If they're leaning on that side or like, okay, maybe this person can help, I'm going to back away. Like, I think that's pretty awesome. Hopefully the rest of the country will start picking up on that stuff too. Usually it's California that leads the way, but rock on New York for that.
They already have it.
Yeah, maybe. I guess it's possible. All right, LA Times. LA's coast was once a DDT dumping ground, not far from Santa Catalina, an island in an ocean shared by divers and fishermen, kelp forests and whales. David Valentine decoded unusual signals underwater that gave him chills. The UC Santa Barbara scientist was supposed to be studying methane seeps that day, but in a deep-sea robot on loan and a few hours to spare, now was the chance to confirm an environmental abuse that others in the past could not. He was chasing a hunch, and sure enough, initial solar scans pinged back the pattern of dots that popped up on the map like a trail of breadcrumbs. Robots made its way 3,000 feet down to the bottom, beaming bright lights in a camera that has slowly skimmed the sea floor. At this depth and darkness, the uncharted topography felt as eerie as driving through a vast desert at night. And that's when the barrels came into view. Barrels filled with toxic chemicals banned decades ago, leaking and littered across the floor. As many as 500,000 of these barrels could still be underwater right now. The nation's largest manufacturer of DDT, a pesticide so powerful that it poisoned birds and fish, was based in Los Angeles. It actually has been banned. The epic Superfund battle later exposed the country's disposal of toxic waste through sewage pipes that poured into the ocean, but all the DDT that was barged out to sea drew comparatively little attention. So shipping logs show like them going out and dropping this stuff. I actually have the graphic. I'll put it up so you guys can see it. But you can see like going out like 2,000 barrels, dumping it in the freaking ocean. Let this shit go. But DDT is so stable that it can take generations to break down. It doesn't really dissolve in water, but stores easily in fat. Compounding these problems is what scientists today call biomagnification. So in other words, like the shrimp eat it, and then the fish that eats the shrimp eats it, and then goes all the way up the freaking food chain, and sometimes goes up to salmon where we eat that shit, and that's where, you're not supposed to get mercury.
Why the fuck would they dump it in the ocean?
So the idea was back then, this was in the article, but, I can only have so much. They thought, well, I mean, the ocean's big enough, it should be able to take care of it. Like it would dilute. So, I mean, it's just, it's actually have one of the pictures. I'll put it up on the video as well. So, and I'll post it on our Facebook page. All right. So, yeah, dude, that's some bullshit. So hopefully they can start cleaning it up. But if they said as many as 500,000 barrels, let's say it's a tenth of that. You're still talking about 10. What's that?
They can't clean it up.
That shit's gone, bro.
It's everywhere by now, bro.
Well, they're leaking. That's, but still.
The barrels are leaking.
Sure. The barrels are leaking. That's the thing. They're leaking. So that's still 5,000 barrels, though. I mean, give me a break. I mean, it's dude.
It's leaking, but it's still leaking. Even
it's still
if they
leaking.
clean it up, it's gonna. I don't know.
There's no way. It's 3,000 feet down. 3,000 feet. 3,000. That's a lot. That's more than half a mile.
You can't even get down there. I mean, you can,
but dude,
but like, how you gonna? Whatever, bro.
Dude, that's some fucking bullshit.
This about to say we cleaned it.
Yeah, like the 40s and the 50s. We're gonna have to. Anyway, rock on. Go for it, Grand Canyon.
All right, Glenwood Springs, Colorado. World record broken. 15-year-old went 280 miles down the Colorado River, start to finish, with his family.
Wow.
Yeah, man. His mother, there was one of the kids missing, but all of them made it. There was a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 15-year-old, and then the mother and the father.
Why do they do it?
Because they love the water. They like to be outside.
Oh, okay.
That's what they do. It's part of kayaking, flipping over, and having to roll back.
Sure.
At one time?
Yeah, man.
So it was like the speed that they went through?
No.
Nah. Wait, what are you saying?
What was the record for it?
The miles.
Oh, the miles?
Youngest to do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
That's freaking awesome. All right, last one I got. Wonderwall, Phil Collins. In October, the Genesis drummer and singer turned successful solo artist sued his third wife, claiming she refused to leave his Miami Beach home. The move came after years of drama. Orianne and Phil married in 1999, welcomed 2 sons, split in 2006, and divorced in 2008. She then married another man, investment banker Charles Majati, but in early 2016 confirmed she reconciled with Phil, though she and the music star did not remarry this time. It's kind of important. So Orianne then broke up with Phil this summer and secretly wed another man, Thomas Bates, in Las Vegas in August. So this is, not that long ago. Orianne filled new court documents on November 9th. According to Orianne, Phil failed to make good on a promise to give her half of their $40 million home. She further claims that Phil started drinking heavily and abusing pills beginning in 2017. He would fall down from combination of prescription medicines and excessive alcohol. On multiple occasions, he hit his head when he fell and checked into hospitals under an alias. He collapsed on stage when performing because he was so impaired he could not stand up, her court papers allege. A friend of Phil's defended him from these particular allegations, telling Page Six. Are you guys familiar with Page Six at all? So New York Post, it's like kind of like the gossip column, sort of, kind of. It's like everyone's like favorite page because it's like, let's see what's going on. So Orianne describes Phil as a hermit who, by 2019, became increasingly depressed, withdrawn, abusive, and following an operation on his back, increasingly addicted to antidepressants and painkillers. Things were so bad, she alleges, he was incapable of having sex. Like, really? First of all, the guy's 69 fucking years old. I feel like at that age, maybe you should cut him a little fucking slack.
Why giving personal business out there, bro?
Like seriously.
By the way, he can't fuck me anyway.
Yeah, dude, 69 years old, man. That's Jesus Christ. So she said, I'd get me a new man. So he's actually rehearsing, this I love, rehearsing for our Genesis return. They're scheduled to do concerts in the UK, and hopefully they bring that shit over here. One of the greatest concerts I ever saw. It was me, David McAdoo, Kevin Williams. I think maybe it was Mike Fisher, but we all went. We drove into Philly, saw it at the Spectrum. It was fucking amazing. So anyway, though Phil this is where it gets kind of. So though Phil initially tried to evict Orianne and her newest husband, Thomas, from his home.
Well, the motherfucker lives there too?
So the guy, and he married the guy, she married the guy, what was it, last August? Yeah. He's in his fucking house with the fucking new husband. She's like, dude,
fuck that bitch,
get the fuck out of my house. That's what I'm saying. They didn't marry the second time. So the house is being sold, and Orianne and Thomas will move out by January. So thank God they got fucking sorted out. What's that?
I know where the house is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't.
It's literally, it's on Bay Road.
Head there afterwards.
It's literally a block west of Alton.
Really?
I think can I say all that right now?
I don't know. It's whatever. Who fucking cares?
It's gone anyways.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot. He's not living there. He's in freaking UK, and she's like, yeah. Move me and my new boo in.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, get out of my house.
Come on, bro. Any one of us right now, we're like, what? That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right. I actually got one last one. This is kind of like a positive thing. BBC, record numbers of endangered species of turtle have hatched on a beach in northern Mexico, believed to be the result of reduced human activity during the corona pandemic. So the indigenous Seri community in Sonora State released more than 2,250 baby olive Ridley sea turtles into the Gulf of California. Fishing and tourism limits mean their beach nests have not been disturbed. So this is a good thing. This is one of those situations where not having all the human activity and all that stuff has just made it. And we've seen and heard and read about all kinds of different animals returning from their habitat and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Lucas, are you ready over there?
Yes.
All right.
It's time for...
Wait a minute. What the fuck? It is what the fuck news, folks. All right, Lucas, what you got?
This week we have a article from AP News about. Do you guys know how about racing pigeons?
Racing pigeons?
Yeah. Racing pigeons?
Yeah.
Like I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it. Alex, you have?
Yeah, man. My buddy back in New York.
Really?
Yeah, his dad has all these pigeons. They get tagged and whatnot, and they go at it.
So, but do they race?
Yeah, man.
All right, so go ahead, Lucas.
Actually, fun fact, side note, I did watch a documentary about it a few years ago. Don't remember the details, like how they know. But
Racing pigeons?
Yeah.
Really? I'd watch it.
Mike Tyson is into it.
I know he's got pigeons. Like, I know he's got them, but I didn't know they were racing pigeons.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Belgian racing pigeon fetches a record price of $1.9 million.
What?
Like, literally.
$1.9 million for a fucking racing pigeon?
Yep.
I'll tell you what, this pigeon better freaking be really, really fast. Wow.
It's showing that a wealthy Chinese pigeon racing fan, unknown buyer, put down 1.6 million euros, $1.9 million for the Belgian-bred bird, saying a lot more than merely what kind of money can be made in a once quaint sport, which seemed destined to decline only a few years back.
I mean, speechless. 1.9 for a fucking pigeon.
1.9. So,
I know pigeons live to about 12 years old, so I assume it was a younger pigeon. I guess he plans on racing it. I assume that there's...
The betting game in Asia, bro.
Really?
Or breeding.
Yeah.
Breeding.
There's money in Asia, kid.
Did they bet in New York? Was that like a thing?
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to hit him up, so...
Yeah, right.
Some intel.
Sorry, unknown buyer, so who knows?
That's true. Very, very, very true. All right, well, fucking A, dude. Fucking $2 million racing pigeon. Good Lord. All right, so any shout-outs? Let's go. I guess we'll start with Laz. Any shout-outs over there?
Nah.
No shout-outs? Okay.
Shout-outs.
Lucas, any shout-outs over there?
No, none at all.
None this week?
No.
All right, fair enough. Alex, any shout-outs?
Yeah, my boy Lawless
Okay.
hooked up, helped me fix a TV, 4K 3D TV. It was shot, took it apart, put a new motherboard in.
That's what's up, dude.
It's spanking new, man.
Fuck yeah.
Just in time for that PS5.
I always thought that like when a TV like that went, it wasn't fixable, but I guess that's not the case.
I had it for a year and a half, just ready to throw it out. It was so heavy, like 50, 60 pounds. Sure. But I just asked him about it. He's like, bring it over. We took it apart.
That's
It's
awesome.
a wrap.
All right, well, I want to shout out Australia. So Australia finally hit us up. So appreciate you. Welcome to the party. Also, I think we're getting a lot of VPN traffic. So that being a good thing, because that means there are people trying to listen to us from areas that can't access us through certain channels. So people are, using VPN to get to us, which is really awesome. So
breaking the law.
Breaking the law. So those of you who are doing that, we appreciate you wanting to listen to us that badly, or with that much urgency, I guess we could say. And Amazon Music, so I finally signed up for a freaking music listening program. Do you guys have like Apple Music or anything you can listen to wherever you want?
Spotify.
I have Apple
Spotify. You have Apple Music, whatever you want, whenever you want.
Yeah.
So I just signed up, dude, and I pushed it off for so freaking long, but it's so awesome.
I don't know how you were able to.
Because like if I like something, I'll just buy it. Pretty much, I'll just buy the album.
How I looked at it when I first got it was that I would buy random things. This is before like it was like downloading, like before you would download music, but now everything is like on your phone or very simple. Then I was like, yo, as much stuff as I buy, this is a subscription anyways. Like, did that make sense?
Sure.
You buy 10 songs, that's a subscription. Now I pay like I think $16.99.
Sure.
But for a family, like
everyone can listen to whatever they want.
I have like 4 devices. Layla's on it. My younger brother's on it. my
Sure.
youngest, so it's like it's worth it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm piggybacking off that Spotify.
Are you?
That's what I'm saying. Like
That works. Nothing wrong with that at all. I don't know. I just love it because I just find myself listening to shit. I listen to like Jewel, Pieces of Me, the City of Angels soundtrack. I listen to Dre's original Chronic, which I actually have on, I actually own that one anyway. But just, I don't know, it's just cool to like listen to this shit because a lot of those albums I did have, but they're in CD form and I just never repurchased them. So, and it's cool. Like, we have obviously Alexa all over the place. So pretty sweet. All right. So we put our deleted scenes on YouTube and we're going to take a little break. But during our break, you guys are going to hear from Market Matt, who's back to give us another little update on what's going on with the stock market and what to expect. Any last minute thoughts? Anyone?
no.
Switch up the lights.
Switch up the lights?
Yeah,
Which ones?
the green. We want red or yellow tonight.
Red or yellow?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
you
do
didn't ask
that.
that last week either.
I'll do that right now.
represent
rid of the-
Belgium tonight.
There we go. How's that red?
It's a wrap.
All right. Red and yellow it is. Boom. So the last time we were with you, it was a discussion about how COVID affected the stock market, what happened last March, what's been happening since then. And then we were, curious as to what was going to happen if we were to get together with Trump being in the White House, or if we were going to speak again when Biden's in the White House. So, it's been interesting to see how it's transpired. Stock market did a little bit better than I was expecting. What that actually means for everything, I'm not 100% sure. That's for sure.
I think most market participants are kind of scratching their head at current price right now and wondering again, as we discussed last time, when price will actually catch up with fundamentals or vice versa.
Sure.
We're still technically in a recession. Unemployment's still technically high. We haven't yet passed a new stimulus bill. The interesting part about that is, in spite of all this concern over COVID, the recession, how this, transition process is going to work in regards to who's going to actually be in office on January 20th. The VIX, the Fear Volatility Index,
Yep.
has actually been dropping. So I think that might be a good place to start.
Sure.
So what is the VIX? The VIX is a market sentiment indicator. It tracks, sentiment across the S&P 500. When it
Tracks
goes higher,
people's
when it
feelings.
spikes- Exactly. If it spikes, it goes higher. People are afraid, they're anxious. If it drops, people are feeling better, more hopeful, more optimistic.
And you can
basically.
have volatility within a certain stock as well. So it's a broad-based term.
Yeah. So when I say the VIX, I mean the CBOE, the
I gotcha.
Chicago Board of Options Exchange, the
I gotcha.
official index.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, that covers a lot of S&P 500 stocks, which is a very broad, wide brush stroking kind of sentiment index. But anyway, in spite of all this fear, in spite of all these big negative headlines, the fear index, the VIX, has been dropping. And the theory is that a lot of market makers right now are unwinding their VIX positions now that the election is over and there's a little more certainty, there's a little more clarity in regards to how tax policy might look, in regards to legislation and how the future will be over the next few years. That's one big thing the market looks for: certainty. It wants clarity. It wants to know, it wants to understand how the next 4 years or so are going to look tax policy wise. Are we going to get an infrastructure bill? Are they going to raise the corporate tax rate? Is going to be more or less regulations, whatnot? They kind of have an idea what they're going to get with Biden. He's more moderate. Republicans gained seats in the House. They kept their Senate majority so far. We'll see what happens in Georgia in a few weeks. But it looks like divided government, and it looks like we're not going to get any, radical agenda. The funny thing about the VIX is that it's obviously ties in heavily to options, the options market.
Yep.
And basically, in a nutshell, what an option is, a stock option is it's a bet via a contract between a seller and a buyer that the price of a certain stock will be above or below a certain price by a given date, right?
Sure.
And these contracts are usually bundled in 100 shares.
Yep.
So you have tens of billions, possibly hundreds of billions, some people speculate, of options, derivatives trading, pushing and pulling the market. So the VIX,
because everyone's betting on the market to either go up or to go down.
Exactly.
And what's the percentage? There's a big percentage of them that fail, though. The contracts expire. I think it's a big number.
So your contract, so most contracts expire worthless,
sure.
right? The vast majority do. What normally happens is,
and that would be a contract of your 100 shares, essentially, just for the people out there.
Exactly. So what happens is, say you're betting that Apple will be at $200 a share in a week, right?
Yep.
So, and if by expiration date, if by 7 days from now, Apple's at $199, a dollar short of $200, your contract expires worthless, right? Which means that the person who sold you that contract, right, receives a payout, right? Receives all that premium, okay? And the premium ties into the VIX.
Gotcha.
So, and the way the VIX plays into it all is that if the VIX is higher, right, that's an indicator that people are afraid, that people are anticipating a big swing in the market either way.
Sure.
Big swings are how you make money in options, right?
Correct.
Because you're making a leverage bet, right? And the higher the swing, right, and, towards or away from your strike price. In other words, if the swing is high and you're betting the market goes up, or the price of that strike goes up, you're going to make, sometimes exponentially more money,
sure.
right?
Sure.
And inversely, you can bet the market goes down via options, and if it goes down by a larger amount than you initially bet, you make, a multiplied return. So, but the point is, like, the VIX right now is dropping, right? Which means less people are anticipating a big market swing. Is
this like within the last, since like Biden was declared? Because I feel like once that happened, people are like, okay, at least we know what's going on.
Exactly.
There's no rioting.
Exactly. I mean, God forbid. So there's more clarity. People are feeling a little less anxious. They're unwinding from their options, contracts right now. The waters are kind of like, quelling a bit, right? Normally when the VIX drops, right, most speculators will look for some sort of bottom, right? And then they'll hop into a position, right? They'll bet that the VIX goes back up. Right now, the VIX is about to, like, let's say, give it another couple of weeks. If it keeps dropping at the rate it's been dropping over the past couple of weeks, we're going to hit a support line, right?
And it's going to start
and when we hit that support line, it'll be interesting to see if people take advantage of that technical setup, right?
My whole thing that just amazes me is like all the stuff going on with COVID, and we talked about this last time. Market doesn't give a shit, like, at all.
And here's the big reason why. So, and the VIX and options plays into it. So, right now you've got a VIX, right, that just pretty much like cooled down. Okay, so options are cheap right now. If you want to buy downside protection, leverage downside protection via options, you can do so without paying a high premium because less people are buying those options, right?
Because they're pretty, they think that things are good. Yeah.
Exactly. So what you're going to see are people taking advantage of that, right? And when a lot of people start buying downside protection, market makers come in and they look for a way to make the market go up, because they're the ones selling that downside protection, right?
And they don't want to cash it out.
Yeah, they don't want to lose. So what's been happening is that there's been all this fear over COVID, the recession, a chaotic presidential election, all these people, all these retail investors, some hedge funds buying downside protection, right? Buying hundreds of thousands, millions of contracts, each bundled with 100 shares, right? So you've got hundreds of billions of shares, right, being purchased at a lower price. And then you have the people selling all those shares, figuring out a way to keep the market elevated, right? So that the people they're selling those contracts to don't get to cash out,
sure,
right? What we call in the money,
yeah.
right? So, and what happens in America, you're allowed to sell your contract. You're allowed to sell your option before it expires, right? And when that happens, you actually commit to buying those shares, right? Those shares come onto the market and you buy them. And that actually drives the market even higher.
I didn't realize that. So you can, before it expires, you can sell it to somebody else?
Yes, you could sell it to someone else, and all these transactions, right? All these hundreds of billions of shares being thrown around, particularly in these high mega cap tech stocks, Facebook, Apple, Google, Tesla, et cetera, is what drives the market higher. And all these market makers have to do, all these people, these dealers have to do, is keep the market above all these strike prices, right? If a bunch of retail investors, if like Joe Schmo, if you have like a million Joe Schmoes thinking that Apple is going to take a dive because people won't be buying iPhones because we're in a recession.
They'll sell the contract and then buy a shitload of Apple to keep it floating.
Yeah, exactly. And then when Joe Schmo gets afraid and sells that contract, right, he buys shares and that sends the price even higher. Also, the opposite party, the one selling, right, is also hedging their bet with more shares too, with 100 shares.
Sure.
So you have this constant order flow, driving markets higher and higher and higher. And the more fear, the higher the fear index goes, the higher the VIX goes, right? The more of an advantageous position these market makers are in, provided they can keep the market higher, right?
Sure.
So I mean, the worst things are the higher the market is going to go, so long as no one comes in and regulates the options derivatives market. But anyway, so you have a lot of hedge funds, institutional investors right now participating in this downside protection program. And what they do is they buy a bunch of downside options. They buy a bunch of puts, right, that expired 1 month, right? They all buy them at the same time. And a put, by the way, is a bet that the market is going to go down, basically.
Yep.
Right? They all buy them at the same time. And on the third Friday of every month, they decide whether or not they want to roll those over, buy more protection, right? Or if they want to sell. And they're only going to sell if they're in the money. Otherwise, they're only going to sell if by, sometime around that third Friday, the market has gone down, dropped, and they're in the money. Like their option is they've hit their price target, and their price target could be anywhere 10 to 30% below current price, right? For say the S&P 500 index.
Sure.
So the market right now is doing well. We're approaching all-time highs. The small cap index, Russell 2000, has actually, I believe, broken out, or is close to breaking out to new all-time highs. And so things are looking good. November 20th is the next roll date. Better if they roll over, okay? And the VIX, the fear index, is low. Because when the fear index is high, premiums are high, meaning they're paying more for those newer contracts.
Sure.
Right? But if they can find a way, for instance, to drop the VIX, right, which is going to drop if they can send the market higher, that means they get to pay much less money for that downside protection, right?
Sure.
So, I mean, what you'll see oftentimes, and what you've been seeing these past few months, is right around that last week before the roll, right, the VIX will drop. Stocks will rally. The fear index will drop. These hedge funds and institutional investors will buy more downside protection for cheap because there's less demand for options because people think that the market isn't going to make a big swing one way or the other.
Sure.
And then what they'll do to get people short, to get people afraid again, to get people to buy downside protection, right? They'll drop the market right after, right, that third Friday, right? So the market will drop, right? They'll start selling downside protection, right, to market participants.
Yep.
And then they'll drive the market up. And then on that third Friday, they'll drop the VIX and roll over again. And that's kind of what's been happening. The question is, when are they going to break that pattern? And when are they going to drop the market, right, and hit that strike price rather than roll,
I mean, hopefully, I can't. I mean, it can't. I don't think it can last much longer than like January, February, because once March rolls around, we should have some stuff going on with the vaccine. We'll have a new president going in. Summertime, people are going to be like spending less time indoors. So, I mean, I feel like that would be a good time. That's for sure. I mean, they can do it whenever they want, though.
So I guess what I'm getting at here is that beneath the hood, because we like to talk about like what's going on beneath the hood.
Sure.
In spite of all this fear, you have a very under control market right now. You have a very well managed stock market. So from what I remember, you caught that upswing in Neo. I know
more
you.
Recently,
I know you.
Yeah, more recently.
Okay. Okay.
So I got like 25% off of Neo.
Woo.
So yeah. But there are people, if I'd have gotten in early, people would have gotten like 10 times, their price. But so I'm just, I'm one of those guys just trying to catch the wave. Same thing with Tesla. I mean, like 40%, well, not 40, about 32% on Tesla, sold it. So
unbelievable.
But Watt, WATT, that's the one where I probably made most of my money because I bought that at 80 cents and sold it like for over like $3 or some shit like that. So now it's like down to 205. I'm just, waiting for a good time to get back in. All right, rock on, bro. Appreciate it. Boom.
All right, thanks, Seth.
You bet.
See you.
All right, well, listen, we're gonna jump into Ethiopia. We're back. So first, I want to actually bring up. So we started the thing.
We just got back.
What's that?
I forgot. We were on break.
Yeah. So we brought back having to bring in a 6-pack, and so my boy Alex, what is it? Coppertail Brewing Company, and this is in where is it? Tampa, Florida?
Yeah,
Tampa, Florida, Unholy American Triple Ale or Tripel Ale, depending on your preferred
Belgian style.
Yep, that's actually Elena's style, so she's gonna love them. I'll have one. I'm gonna drink one the next break. How is it?
Tasty.
Yeah, okay.
Celebrating that 2-0 win over England. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's why we got the red up there.
1985.
That's pretty awesome. Oh yeah.
Have you had it before or no?
No. Never even seen it before. Okay. I'm not a big 9%. Actually, this one's 9.3. Elena, she'll love them. I'll have a couple, but either way, if she's loving the beer, she'll drink less of mine. So it's a win-win either way. That's for sure. So, all right. Well, that being said, once again, we're going to jump into Ethiopia's civil war, or on the brink of civil war. So I'm going to let you guys know kind of where the story starts more recently. I mean, obviously, we could go into decades or centuries or whatever. So Al Jazeera, and this is April 2nd, 2018, the ruling Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, the EPRDF, elected Abiy Ahmed, a little-known reformist leader from the Oromo community, as prime minister, setting the stage for dramatic political and economic liberation. So a year on, basically, he's elected. A year later, the early euphoria, dubbed Abiy Mania by The Economist, is giving way to ambivalence and incertitude. So he started off great, but things are starting to slip a little bit. And this is where we get the first indication that, holy shit, this guy's made some great changes, but at the same time, shit's not perfect. But on the balance, Abiy's accomplishments over the year are nothing short of a miracle. Prime Minister Abiy took over a deeply divided coalition and country facing a myriad of political security and humanitarian crises. The second state of emergency in as many years was still in full swing. Tens of thousands were imprisoned in political cases, including journalists, which is never a good thing. The country had to provide for some 2.4 million IDPs, the highest in its tortured history. IDP is internal displaced people or persons. Basically, you have people in your own fucking country who were forced out of their home and are just kind of sitting there with nowhere to go. Exiled EPRDF opponents, hitherto prescribed as terrorists, were invited to return home and pursue peaceful political struggle. In other words, okay, come on back, let's work this out. The prime minister set up a boundary and reconciliation commission to address disputes over administrative borders, to end intercommunal violence, and to reckon with the abuses of past regime. He quickly lifted the martial law, released political prisoners, and apologized for the violence and excesses of the state. He laid out plans to partially privatize key state-owned enterprises, including the Ethiopia Airlines, Ethiopian Electric Power Corporation, and the sole telecom provider employer, Ethio Telecom. A range of mid-sized state enterprises such as sugar plantations and industrial parks were also slated to be fully privatized. So he's like, all right, we're going to let the people, you guys can grow your own shit, and we're going to let some people invest in the airline and this and that, just make it a lot more like wide open. So that's kind of the stuff that he did when he brought in. The World Bank gave him like $1.2 billion. You know, he opened up ways for people to get loans to start their own businesses and stuff like that. So that's, you know, like you were saying earlier, Alex, same, exact thing as, you know, what was going, you said it was Peru, right?
Yeah. Man.
Where they elected somebody new. So someone to just come in and just help out, which is.
The youth are revolting hardcore right now because they put someone in power that was just like
that they didn't vote for.
Right.
I do remember that now. Now that you bring it up, I do remember that. So yeah, 100%. It's just, you know, I mean, like I said, you know, the Arab Spring and then the Latin Spring, who knows what's going on. But after Chile voted to rewrite their constitution, what's going on in Peru, let's hopefully can start making some changes. So May 30th, 2019, so this is about a year later, and about, you know, over a year and a half ago, ethnic violence in Ethiopia has forced nearly 3 million people from their homes. 700,000 people have been displaced by the Gadeo-Guli dispute, according to the United Nations, yet it is just one of many inter-ethnic conflicts raging in Ethiopia. Last year, more people fled their homes than in any other nation on earth. The uprisal in communal violence has coincided with the early days of Abiy Ahmed's tenure as prime minister and is arguably the greatest threat of his lofty ambitions. The prime minister won international praise for sweeping political and economic reforms, yada, yada, yada. But the huge displacement during his tenure is the biggest black mark against the ambitious leader's first year in office. So what he was doing was he was trying to, or his administration, whether or not it was directly involved, you know, attributed to him, but these people were displaced and he's like, you know, send them back. We're going to send people in there to help you. But the problem is these people would go back and somebody else would be living in their fucking home or be freaking torched. Oh, shit. So they're pushing people to go back when they're not ready. So it's you know, definitely not a good thing. And there are more than 80 ethno-linguistic groups. So over 80 pockets of different like communities and cultures to a degree and languages all competing for the same freaking space, which is why it's so freaking difficult right now.
They originally voted for him because he was part of like a big organization, something to help them free the people originally.
Well, yeah, they voted him in because they wanted him.
Because he was already doing good before. Sure. Like just not as a political figure or with his own group.
Sure. Absolutely.
And then it changed.
Yeah.
Because that's what I saw. I think that's why I saw it. But I couldn't really understand it because every group was called a different thing. It was like WPLF and AP this.
Yeah. For sure. It's true. I mean, it's funny because I had to actually a couple times rehearse them just because they're just not letters we're used to associating with the English language. So like this one up here, what is it? The you have to edit, the EPRDF, you know, just like I had to like think about it a little bit. Yeah. So they voted him in, they wanted him to make those changes. And the problem is it's just not as easy as you think. If you got 80 freaking different, you know, some people just don't want to freaking play ball. Some people want to remain autonomous. Some people don't want to be ruled by the same set of rules. It's ruled by the same set of rules. So one of the things that happened is Ethiopia's prime minister stepped up in a military offensive. This is November 9th, so this is a week ago, less than a week ago. Ethiopia's prime minister stepped up a military offensive in northern region of Tigray on Sunday with airstrikes as part of what he called a law enforcement operation, increasing fears of outright civil war in Africa's second most populous country. So I remember back in the days growing up, like Ethiopia was like what you saw online, you know, help the people who are starving in Ethiopia. There's starving kids in Ethiopia, but Ethiopia's, man, they're freaking killing it. I mean, their economy is massive. Their population growth is massive. Clearly, they've got like centralized, well, not centralized. They're trying to centralize it more, but government that's really, really helping out. So last week, Abiy launched a military campaign in the province saying local forces local to leaders there had attacked a military base and attempted to steal equipment. Government fighter jets since bombed targets in the region, which borders Sudan and Eritrea. Aid workers on Sunday reported heavy fighting in several parts of the region, with at least 6 dead and dozens wounded. So Tigray is basically it's a little bit to the north, a little bit to the west, and it basically borders this country, Eritrea, which is something that Abiy actually got a Nobel Peace Prize for brokering like a peace deal with them. He won it because they were at war and weren't friends for the longest time. When he came in, that was one of the major things that he fought for. But these people up in Tigray, they don't like it. They don't like the fact that the government decided to, you know, talk to these guys, blah, 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 blah. Tigrayans, that is, complain that Abiy, who is from Oromo ethnic group, Ethiopia's largest, has unfairly targeted them in part of a crackdown. So many citizens are fleeing to Sudan. And so basically the TPLF, another weird one, Tigray's People Liberation Front. So they govern the region. They're battle hardened, possess significant stocks of military hardware. Their militia and soldiers is up to about 250,000, which is a lot. That's one massive.
That's why it's like crazy.
That's why it's crazy.
It was two groups that were working with each other.
Sure.
And then now they're like, we don't like what you're doing. And if you don't fix it, we're going to take it back how we did it last time or something like that. That's how it looks to me.
Pretty much. 250,000. And they just try to, I mean, they claim, but they just try to take stuff from a military base.
But if it's, who knows about who else? 250,000 soldiers have families, have friends, have
That's
things.
true.
Like, you know what I mean? If you decide you want to do something that I may or may not agree with, I'm going to support you. You know what I mean? We're friends. We're cool. So like, imagine something like that.
But what they've also spoken about, what they've also mentioned is that there are soldiers in the Ethiopian army that are from there and they're defecting back to that area as well.
Because you know what? They probably lived there. Well, they have lived there the longest time, so they're probably getting the effects of the attacks on that border.
Hell yeah.
Where the rest of Ethiopia don't know nothing about it.
Pretty much.
That makes
That's
sense
all
too.
that is.
It's like that
That's
manager,
all that is, bro.
That manager who's not in the fucking field, but they're talking to you like they know what's going on.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
All the family members they lost and all the hardships and shit just get swept away and ain't nothing helping them out. Fuck that.
So, since the overthrow of Marxist leader Mengistu Haile Mariam in 1991 and until 2018, the TPLF was the main partner in the governing coalition and ran Tigray. Guerrilla army, the TPLF had played a pivotal role in Mengistu's demise and went on to dominate just not the country's politics, but the economy as well. However, Mr. Abiy curtailed its influence after coming into power in 2018, while the TPLF refused to dissolve and merge with the other three parties to form the Prosperity Party, and push for what's that?
That's the whose side are you on?
Yeah, right. To form the Prosperity Party and push for by the prime minister. So he was like, we're going to create these three parties. Pick, you know, can you join this one, please? You can be part of them. And they're like, no. One of the biggest risks, Ethiopia's army was split along ethnic lines. So the conditions in Tigray right now, reports of shortage of flour and fuel and worst of all water, which was already rationed. And Mekelle, M-E-K-E-L-L-E, which has a population between 400 and 500,000 homes, or 400 and 500,000 people. Homes used to get piped water once a week, but the supply has stopped. Family used to buy water from vendors, but phones were disconnected and they can no longer put in orders. On Thursday, it was reported that a power generator dam had been damaged in an airstrike, cutting electricity supply in the region. So shit's getting real. Shit's already real.
Shit's already real.
And it doesn't look like anything is going to change that. So this just happened today. Remember I was saying like some shit happened today. So this is AP and this will pretty much wrap this up. And then, you know, obviously we'll keep looking to see what happens. The leader of Ethiopia's rebellious Tigray region has confirmed firing missiles at neighboring Eritrea's capital. So the country to the north that Abiy shook hands and peace deal and Nobel Peace Prize and all that shit. So that freaking country that he made peace with, they sent missiles into the fucking capital. So marking a huge escalation as the deadly fighting in northern Ethiopia between Tigray forces and the federal government spills across the international border. Tigray Regional President Debretsion Gebre-Michael, in a phone interview Sunday with the Associated Press, wouldn't say how many missiles were fired at the city of Asmara on Sunday, but said it was the only city in Eritrea that was targeted. So the president, the Tigray regional president, so basically the fucking guy who's responsible for that area, which, you know, puts the TLPF, Jesus, this is one of the TPLF, God, so close. The TPLF, you know, in cahoots with them. As long as troops are here fighting, we'll take any legitimate military target and we will fire, he said, accusing Eritrea of sending troops into the Tigray region and denying reports that Tigray regional forces have entered. I don't know. There's obviously been a lot of conflict within Ethiopia. The president probably isn't as popular as he was because these hundreds of thousands of people that are displaced, there have been people that have been shot and maimed. There was an attack in the Tigray region, and it was said that the Tigray militia people attacked them as a result of being pushed out of a military area. Dude, it's just going back and forth and back and forth. But now, since they're sending missiles into another fucking country, I mean, who knows what's gonna fucking happen? So we're gonna move into the haunted paintings here. So I brought this up last minute, and I just feel like something a little bit different, because after all that, maybe just have a little bit more fun. So there are some haunted paintings out there. I grabbed the ones that I thought had the best story. In addition to, some of them are just kind of dumb. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it said that the eyes are following you. I'm like, that's a little bit too boring for me. So we're going to start with the first one. And I got the first painting up here. Let me move this to the side. Everybody can see the first picture, right?
I can't see it from here.
Oh. Here, let me move to the side. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
All right. So this is the haunted. So this is the first one. This is called The Hands Resist Him. So, and if you notice in the background, you can see the little hands like creeping up on the glass. For those of you listening, and I'll put these up on Facebook as well. And if you watch the video, you'll see it. So it's a boy standing in front of looks like a glass door, like a wooden door. And then there's a doll almost as tall as him, and she's holding a paint can. It almost looks like a gun though, because of the way the cross hatches are on the door behind her. And there's these hands that are kind of like reaching through the glass, but they don't quite get to him. So this is painted in 1972. The original gallery owner and LA Times art critic who reviewed the painting were dead within a year of its showing. The painting ended up on eBay, where an anonymous seller claimed it was haunted. The seller said it was found behind an old brewery by an art picker whom it was purchased from. The eBay listing, so this is the actual eBay listing that was put up there. We received this painting. We thought it was really good piece of art. The picker had found it and abandoned behind an old brewery. At the time, we wondered why a seemingly perfect fine painting would be discarded like that. Today, we don't. One morning, our 4-year-old daughter claimed to say the children in the picture were fighting and coming into the room during the night. There's an actual disclaimer. Warning, do not bid on this painting if you are susceptible to stress-related disease, faint of heart, or are unfamiliar with supernatural events. By bidding on this painting, you agree to release the owners of all liability in relation to the sale or any events happening after the sale that might be contributing to this painting, contributed to this painting.
And it's posted for real.
This is for real, like on eBay.
Yeah.
So this painting may or may not possess supernatural powers that could impact or change your life. However, by bidding, you agree to exclusively bid on the value of the artwork with disregard to the last 2 photos featured in this auction and hold the owners harmless in regard to them and their impact. So there's these photos that claim to show like it moving. I looked at the photos. I mean, whatever. It didn't. I mean, I guess if you look at it the right way, you could maybe whatever.
I'm out of here.
So viewers of the painting report of extreme reactions such as sudden violent illness, screaming, and the sensation of being gripped by an unseen reality. So how much do you think the painting sold for? And this is the only one we actually got a sell price on.
$666K.
Okay. $666K?
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's a good one. Lucas?
Like $5 grand.
Five, how much?
Grand.
5,000. Okay.
I was like
Laz?
22, 25, 25.
25 what?
25,000.
25,000? So it was actually $1,025.
That's pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap.
How many people died?
I bet you it's worth a lot more than
Hell
that.
yeah. I'll buy that shit for a G.
Hell yeah, I would. I don't know if I'd hang it up here, but like store it
charge
somewhere.
$10 to go check that shit out.
How
Get
many
the money back in a
happened
weekend,
with that
dog.
painting though?
What's that?
How many besides the people that died at the gallery?
Yeah.
And then the daughter who saw the kids.
Nobody else has died.
Okay.
However, this next one
is enough.
Oh shit.
Next one, different story.
That kind of creeped. This one creeped me out a little bit.
Good. And it's working. Secrets. All right, so the next one. Here we go. The Crying Boy. I just put that in. Clearly, I need to take the loop off. All right, The Crying Boy, 1950, painted by Italian painter Giovanni Bragolin, a.k.a. Bruno Armadio. Unexpectedly, Bragolin's painting received a positive response from the public, and he was flooded with orders to make more paintings of the Crying Boy. It is thought that over 50,000 versions of these images were sold. So he like basically made different versions, each unique but similar style. The Crying Boy painting was an actual person. Giovanni Bragolin painted an orphan whose parents died in a fire. A profound sadness was deeply indescribable on the boy's face in the painting. We can also feel the child's grief when left by his parents at a very early age. News of grief accompanied the success of the sale of the Crying Boy painting. Shortly after the painting was mass-produced, word circulated the boy on the project, in the painting, died of an explosion. So a couple brought a painting of the Crying Boy and hung it on the wall of their home in Rotherham. The couple's home was burned down by a charred frying pan. With all the stuff that had become ashes, only the painting of the Crying Boy was not charred. Normally, a chip pan blaze would merit nothing more than a couple of paragraphs in a local newspaper, but what transformed the story into the page lead in Britain's leading tabloid was the intervention of Ron Hall's brother Peter, a firefighter based in Rotherham. A colleague of Peter's, station officer Alan Wickinson, said that he knew of numerous other similar cases where prints of the Crying Boy had turned up undamaged in the ruins of homes destroyed by the fires. Giovanni Bragolin's studio also burnt down. So, secrets.
Wherever the painting was, burned down.
So, I mean, they produced 50,000 of them, but there definitely seem to be a lot of coincidental burnings associated with this particular painting.
Maybe he's alive. But it's weird, though. Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, it depends.
Like, when you watch those movies, when something happens based on, like, an event from the past, and then,
sure,
like, this happens, like, yo, that shit... I like to be really scared, but I don't get really scared when I watch like scary movies. But,
I don't like scary movies.
That shit, but like, imagine if that shit was like here, and then all of a sudden, like you see a fingerprint here.
Oh, good save. That's why I got you the table with a freaking fence around it. For real.
And you see like a fingerprint here,
sure,
or whatever, and then you're like, oh shit, what the hell?
All right,
that's crazy.
Well, I worked in a restaurant back in Long Island.
Sure.
It was haunted. Or so they say. It was an old Vanderbilt mansion, and it actually had an underground tunnel that connected to the Dowling College, which was also his mansion. So I actually ran the entire second floor, and I'd always be there at nighttime by myself, you know, trying to get spooked in the dark. Never came across anything. But we've always had psychics come into the area. To have psychic readings and whatnot, because it was like an old school mansion from, I think, the 1700s. It was brought over from Germany, piece by piece. So there was one time when this lady ran out after being on my floor. Her face was mangled. She said, yo, there's something up here, and she never came back again.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
And after that, I kept trying to see something up there. I didn't see nothing.
I like that shit. It's like, I want to see it.
Yeah. My coworkers, you know, nothing. We never seen anything.
Doing seance, bringing in Necronomicon and all that.
I ain't doing that shit.
I hear you. What were you saying, Lucas?
Go to Gettysburg.
Oh, yeah. That's what they say. So growing up, I remember like 3-4 years old, we lived in an area called the Stottsville Inn where a woman was known to have brought men into the house and killed them. This was in Paoli, Pennsylvania, and we lived there for a while. It was a big freaking house. And so this was like way back. Woodrow Blagg, he remembers the place and he knew it was haunted. He can tell a story of what he kind of, and he refers to the poltergeist as like, yeah, I saw it. And I remember being 3-4 years old swearing I was seeing ghosts. To this day, I remember saying, there's a fucking ghost right there. And there's ghosts in here. Oh, so, shit. Yeah, for real. But when you're 3, it's like it's hard to know like what you saw at this age. If you see one now, you're like, dude, that was a fucking ghost. But obviously back then. All right, so let's go to the next one.
Or just a jacket.
So this one, the anguished man. So this one, a little bit more of a legend. They're not really sure like exactly what. They're not really sure exactly who painted it, when it was painted, but it does have a little bit of a story behind it. According to legend, the anguished man was created by an unknown artist who mixed the paint with his own blood. Shortly after his work was completed, the artist committed suicide. It's currently owned by Sean Robinson from Cumbria, England. Robinson inherited the anguished man from his grandmother, who warned him that the painting was cursed. Although she was fascinated with the painting, Robinson had to keep it in the basement of his home because his wife didn't like it. In 2010, he finally removed the anguished man from the basement after flooding and keeping it in the bedrooms. Since then, Robinson and his family began experiencing strange activities throughout the house, such as seeing a shadowy figure of a man and hearing sounds of whispering and crying. Further incidents occur weeks later, haunting each member of the family. At night, Robinson would wake up to see dark, faceless figures standing in his bedroom, a dark, faceless figure, that is, and his wife discovered a stranger lying on the bed next to her, leaving her traumatized. The incident that really put the family in danger was when the couple's son felt a presence push him down the stairs. In 2011, Robinson uploaded the video to YouTube titled Ghost Activity Caught on Tape, Haunted Painting, The Anguished Man. I looked it up, which gained over 2 million views, basically as like where the painting falls over on its own, or like a door closes on its own, which obviously could be rigged. Apparently they put the painting up there and they put like a camera on it and let it sit there for, days on end to see, what could happen. So what do you guys think? It's a pretty fucking fucked up picture. True Jesus. That. Could you hang that up in your place? Probably not, right?
Oh, hell no.
I don't think so.
After the story, hell no.
Yeah, well, after the story, especially. It looks like a masochist painting. Someone's got like that rubber mask and like the freaking O-gag and some shit like that.
They said he mixed the blood with his
ring gag.
Yeah, that shit's raw.
Yeah, it's paint with it. Yeah.
Bro, no.
That is raw. That's right. You can see the darker shade in there and all that. All right, moving on to the next one. So we got 2 more. This is the Stagecraft, 1995, painted by Laura P. We didn't get her last name. I think wanted to remain a little bit more anonymous. And a lot of this is actually her own account of painting it, of the painting that she painted. In 1994, James Kidd took a double exposure photograph of a stagecoach and a wagon outside. So basically, back, old school film, you took a picture, but you don't fast forward it. So you can take another picture and the 2 of them kind of get, overlap, and then you can get much more detailed image. So when he developed the picture, he noticed what looked to be a headless figure standing in the background, coats, pants, boots, everything but the head. He displayed the photo in a local gallery, and a painter, Laura, asked if she could do an oil of it. So this was the headline for the article. I actually looked up a couple of them, and you can see it right there to the left. The jacket, the pants, the shoes, all that shit. When I was about halfway through, so this is the woman who painted it. When I was about halfway through completing this painting, I started getting a strange feeling. I began to ask myself, why on earth did I want to paint this picture? And maybe I should never have started it, but I did finish it, and some very strange, unexplained things happened around my home. I displayed the frame painting in a business location. We hung the ghost painting on the wall behind an office desk. 3 days later, people from the office called asking me to pick up the ghost painting. Every morning they claimed the painting was crooked, no matter how many times they fixed it. Also, appointments were inexplicably messed up, and papers went missing. They were actually afraid of the painting, so I took it back. Roofers came out 3 times to repair a garage leak and could not find the cause. Finally, my husband asked me where the ghost painting was. It was leaning against the wall between the living room and the garage. We moved the painting. The garage roof never leaked again. One evening, I was preparing dinner and set the salt and pepper shakers on the bar. I went through the door, called my husband for dinner. When I got back, the salt was spilled all over, and the salt shaker was still standing upright where I left it. A heavy gate that would have been hard to move came off its post for no reason. The hardware was completely intact. And a gal started bragging that she did not believe in ghosts. Just let me see it, she said. She took the photo, looked at it closely, and just laughed. That night at her house, a clock that had been on the wall for 40 years fell down and broke into 100 pieces. So it's currently in her house. She's not selling it. She doesn't want to be responsible for any more stuff that happens around the painting. So there you go, folks. Painting number 4. Once again, the Stagecraft.
If people were that worried, why just burn it? Or like
So the crying boy actually looked up. It was kind of funny. So there's a video of someone trying to light it, and they put this paper like up in front of it, and it starts to burn a little bit. Then it stops like in the middle of the painting burning. Interestingly enough, because one of the things is like the fire takes everything out but the freaking painting.
Man.
So, but you can see it. So the guy took the double image. She decided she wanted to paint it and haunted. So the Woman of the Rain. Painted by what's that?
I think I've saw this before.
You have seen this one?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, but it is a little bit creepy as well. So painted by Ukrainian painter Svetlana Telets. So this is more recent. I couldn't get an actual date of when it was actually painted, but we're talking within like 20 years ago. According to Telets, she repeatedly felt as though someone was watching her for several months before she started work on the painting. She said that it felt as though an unseen hand was guiding hers and that she was able to complete the work in a few hours. For 6 months before the birth of the Woman of the Rain, I always felt like someone was watching me. I always drove such thoughts away. And then one day, it wasn't raining at all. I was sitting in front of a blank canvas and thought what I could draw. Suddenly, I clearly saw the contours of a woman, her face, colors, shades. I saw every little detail of the image. I started to draw it as if someone drove my hand over the paper. In a few hours, I managed to finish it. According to the salesman, the painting was bought 3 times and then returned. Clients say they dreamed of it. Others say the woman looks familiar to them, but they don't remember where they did see her. And anyone who has ever looked into her white eyes forever remembers the feeling of a rainy day, silence, anxiety, and fear. The first shopper hung it on the wall in her bedroom. After 2 weeks, Svetlana got a call late night from the lady. Please take it back. I can't sleep. I feel like there's someone in my house and besides me. I even took it off the wall and hid it behind the cupboard, but I still have this feeling. What's that, Laz?
Oh, God. That's crazy.
God.
No, but you know what? You just said that people said it looks familiar.
Sure.
I just said it looks familiar.
It does look familiar. That's funny. That's true, right?
Cruella de Vil or something.
Yeah, well...
I don't know.
A little creepier than that. What's that, Lucas?
It kind of has that Payon feel to it.
It does have a Payon feel, actually. That's a Peter Payon right over there. So a little bit. You got some Payon hanging up in your wall. Of course, ours are originals, or mine's an original painting, I think.
Yeah, I got 3 of them in my bedroom.
So let's see, where was I? Okay, so second, a young man brought it back. He couldn't stand it. He brought it to the artist without even getting his money back. So he's like, I don't want my money back. Just keep it. I keep dreaming of it, he complained. Every night, there's a shadow of the woman walking around me. I'm starting to go mad. I'm afraid of this painting. The third customer heard about it but didn't care. He said the face of the woman looks very nice, and it certainly won't do anything bad. But bad did happen. At first, I didn't notice her white eyes, he said. But then I did see them, and they started to appear everywhere. A reasonable headache started to hurt me. I couldn't stand it. He returned it. So there you go, folks. That's what we got. So scary, not scary, sorry, not sorry.
That's the best thing. You paint one thing and then you paint it back like a million times. Like sell it again.
Say it one more time.
You pay you do your portrait or your painting and you can sell it and people just take it back. You sell it
keep
again.
the money?
Dude. They don't even keep the money. I don't even want it.
It's a freaking, that's the best hustle ever.
Yeah.
So I guess convincing them to buy in the first place is the hard part.
Things in my house. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Would you?
I don't know. There's a couple of them that
this
probably
one definitely.
The last one is pretty cool.
First one for sure.
The first one is really, it's creepy, but I feel like I wouldn't mind having that one as well.
With the creepiness?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you
the crying.
So the hands resist him. So the crying boy, no way. The anguished man, no way. Stagecraft, no way.
I like the anguished man.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's yeah, okay.
I don't want to see the crying boy every day if I walk on my house.
No. What's that, Lucas?
The crying boy kind of has like that depressed Norman Rockwell feel to it.
It does, a little bit.
Like that style.
Sure.
And the anguished man is just Donald Trump without makeup.
God. Jeez. All right, so we're going to take our second break, and we're going to come back with Lucas's weather. Laz has his headphones on still. What is going on?
I didn't.
That's what I was getting at.
But you can't do it anywhere.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, Lucas, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Research Lucas with the weather.
All right. What do we got for the weather this week, Lucas?
This week we have Booty, Australia.
Booty, rocking.
Booty. Can you please spell that for the listeners out there?
Booti. Booti. It is
nice.
It is a national park in New South Wales.
Sure. All right.
Is there a dash between the booties?
No, it's no booties.
So just two booties just right up next to each other.
Straight up.
Yep. No, there's a small space between them.
Oh, so okay. So a little bit of space to get in between the boot, like a little bit of space in between the booty.
The name comes from Booty, B-U-T-I, no space, B-U-T-I.
Okay.
The local Warimi Aboriginal word meaning plenty of honey.
Okay.
I like it. Plenty of honey.
Yeah, right? No doubt. Damn, that booty got plenty of honey.
True that.
All right, so what are we starting on?
So B-O-O-T-I, right?
Yep, and twice.
Okay. All right.
Start on Thursday, ladies' night.
There you go. Well, yeah, I mean, we could start. What's this? It'll come out Tuesday. Why don't we start with Wednesday?
Okay. Tuesday, November 17th, high of 69, low of 60. Damn. What?
Because I said, well, it's going to come out on Tuesday. Why don't we start on Wednesday? You're like, okay, so Tuesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
No, you can do, I mean, whatever, dude. It's all good, man.
Wednesday.
Well, they live in the future, so.
Yeah, okay, sure. We do live in the future.
No, Australia.
They do.
Sure.
They're on the other side of the date zone.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. All right.
Research Lucas.
So Wednesday,
November 18th, high of 69, low 61. Partly cloudy with a 0% chance of precipitation with the winds coming out of the east at 15 miles per hour.
Okay. 15. That's kind of a little windy. Got some wind and some breeze in there. Okay.
Thursday, November 19th, high of 73, low of 62. Partly cloudy / windy. 0% chance of precipitation with the winds coming out of the northeast at 20 miles per hour.
20 miles per hour now? Okay.
Yeah. Friday, November 20th. High of 76, low of 64. Mostly sunny with wind. 10% precipitation with the winds coming out of the northeast at 21 miles per hour.
21, okay.
Saturday, November 21st. High of 75, low of 63. Partly cloudy with a chance of precipitation at 10%. Winds coming out of the south-southwest at 15 miles per hour.
Okay.
And round it off with Sunday, November 22nd. High of 76, low of 64. PM thunderstorms.
Oh, thunderstorms, finally.
Something.
You've been holding that button.
Right? Just like,
you hear the sound effects now.
Been the same every fucking day so finally. Okay, you were saying?
Chance of precipitation at 40% with the winds coming out of the northeast at 16 miles per hour.
16 miles per hour. All right. Boom. There we go. Research Lucas. So yeah, once again, Apple did a freaking update and messed up the sound effects here. So I'm clearly gonna have to get in there and figure some shit out. What's that?
Masking tape with shorthand of what sound effects are each button.
So yeah, no. I know which ones they are, but as you can see, the volume's just a little bit off. Plus, we routed you in and you weren't, so I don't know if that changed anything. But Apple did an update. And when they did the update, I lost a row of utilization on my pad and I had to shift some stuff up and messed up some other stuff as well. But I think they did it last night because I literally just found out about it today. And I'm like, all right, let's get ready for the show. I'm like, what the fuck? So, yeah. So maybe I could start off with some fucking beef then.
What? You got beef?
Apple, why can't you just leave this shit the fuck alone? Like, hopefully they can get a patch out or Novation can get a patch out. It just happened today, so I have no way of actually knowing how to fix it because it's new and there's nobody out there who has put any information on it. So we'll see what happens. That kind of sucks though. So, but yeah, I guess that being the case.
Secrets. What? You got secrets.
Damn, that's on a loop too. I forgot. So anyway, Alex, you said you had some beef about some hazard lights or something like that?
Yeah, clowns driving on the road on their phone. They put their hazard lights on.
Sure.
I've seen it 3 times so far. One time I saw someone in a scrub. Don't get it confused with the people you work with, you know. I'm talking about the attire from the people that work in hospitals.
Yep.
But, no. It
so
doesn't work.
They're on the highway, they have their hazards on because they're on the phone?
Yeah, and they want people to be careful.
Be careful because
they're going slow.
I'm not paying attention.
So has anyone else seen this before?
I haven't seen it recently.
No, only parked cars.
I'm not on the highway very often, though. I mean, obviously, there's very
Yeah, I
little.
drive a lot on the highway. That's probably why I see it more often.
Yeah, no doubt. Damn, dude. Well, that fucking sucks. So I would imagine they get freaking pulled over at some point. You gotta like feel like you would just get caught.
I don't feel like they're pulling people over much either anymore.
No?
Yeah, because like
I know.
this morning.
Because of COVID and all that?
I don't know. This morning I'm driving on the highway and coming from work, and it was like cars like flying. And I
noticed that too, actually.
I have a heavy foot, but like if I'm going 70 on 95 and somebody flies by me, like that's crazy. And it's like 7:30 in the morning, like when I get off work. So that's like some other shit.
Could be. You know, I could easily see that they wouldn't want to pull people over as much with everything that's going on. So I remember one time leaving New York, I was driving back down to Philadelphia. It was early in the morning, and I freaking had been up like really early. I was up there for a job, and I'm driving back down, and it's fucking pouring rain. And I'm on 95 going south. And fucking, I'm doing like 70 miles an hour, you know, which is a little bit higher. I think it's 65 now. Is the speed limit? It might be 60 up there. So a car like pulls up beside me on the inside, and I'm thinking, like, what the? It's like pouring rain. It's like I don't want to be next to a freaking another car. So I decided, okay, I'm going to speed up. So I speed up, and the car speeds up again. Then I'm like, dude, and I'm talking like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Maybe like 9 o'clock in the morning. I was up at like 4 a.m. So I speed up a little bit more, and finally he pulls up behind me and puts his lights on. Boo! I'm like, you gotta fucking kill me, bro.
He was already going too fast.
So yeah, I was already like, you know, so he gets up behind me, and it's like I said, it's pouring rain. I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna fucking hate me because now he's got to get out in the pouring fucking rain. So this is actually when I had my Monte Carlo. As a matter of fact, I know
that's a target.
I know you guys,
he was black.
I know you guys recognize the fucking car, the one I had down here, same one. I had that car for like 10 years, bro. That car was amazing for me. So
what was the mileage on it?
120, 130, I think, something like that.
When you got rid of it?
When I finally got rid of it. So, and yours, bro, you've had yours forever, dude. That fucking, the white one, that shit's jamming.
Oh, you still have it?
201.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I pull over. He's behind me. He gets out of the car. I roll down the window, and I'm like, and I go to speak. I'm like, officer, he's like, ho. Let me ask you something. How stupid do you have to be driving 80 miles an hour in the fucking rain next to a state trooper? I'm like, well, he's like, I'll tell you, pretty fucking stupid. Right? So I'm like, well, officer, this and that. I was like, I don't care. Slow the fuck down. Get the fuck out of my face. Right?
But he was driving an unmarked car?
It was unmarked, yeah. Pouring fucking rain, dripping off his fucking nose, dripping off his fucking chin. You know, you could see steam coming off from the heat of his aggravation and this and that. So, and then I just like kind of just...
I might have to do that.
Wilted off. What's that?
That would be worth the fucking ticket, bro.
Dude, it was
the amount of times I get pulled over, I never thought about that.
Sure. I got pulled over for that. I got pulled over for that car and got a ticket for my fucking tints. Fucking sucks. And it's funny because like I had a friend working with me named James who worked with me at the steakhouse, and a black guy, dude. And as soon as like we got pulled over, it was amazing how much like everything changed. And the officer was like, can I see your registration? Like, James, can you pull my registration? He goes, here you go, sir. You know, and I hand it up to him.
I know who this James is. Really?
Yeah, dude. He just got so fucking nervous, you know, and I was like, you know, I pulled you over. I'm like, no idea. It's like you're tense. And then I had to go to fucking court. I had to wait until the very fucking end until it was my turn. So I get there like, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning. There's like 8 or 9 other fucking people in front of me, you know, ticket or some sort of other citation or whatever. And fucking, he gets to me. He's like, Mr. Whitty. I was like, Whitty. He's like, did you take? And I get up to walk over. He's like, did you take the tints off? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, dismissed.
The judges are not that bad when at the courthouse.
No, that's cool.
Especially if you're not like a problem.
It's cool. So anyone else? Any beef? Any asshole? Last positivity? Nothing? No? Okay.
Am I an asshole? I got one. Last night. Fresh.
Okay.
I walk in the back, you know, kind of upset because clowns are fucking around at my job like usual.
Sure.
And I go in the back and homeboy goes, hey, Al, how you doing? Like, what's up? He's like, who you mad at today? I'm like, bro, I'm not your fucking boy. Don't fucking talk to me. I don't talk to you. Just fucking do your thing. Get the fuck out of my face. Am I an asshole?
Just literally him.
Am I an asshole?
Nah, he was already fucking around.
Probably not. I think, honestly, like, if you just want to put that shit to rest, absolutely not.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. You got to be on the ass.
Yeah.
That.
So is this the same guy by any chance?
Nah.
Just a different?
Yeah.
I got you.
They're like, yo, who you mad at today?
Yesterday,
I'm not mad at nobody.
Sure.
I'm just doing my shit. I'm focused.
Sure.
I got a job to do.
I got you.
I took a late lunch yesterday, and I just went to work like an hour and a half, 2 hours. We have like personal time we could take. I was like, I'm just going to come in later. Who cares? Because my little team, if a certain group of us are not there, the rest of them are not doing shit. It's annoying as fuck.
Sure.
So you end up working harder. And it's like, when at the end of the shift, I was like, I think I'm going to leave an hour early too. They're like, why you want to leave? I'm like, I did more stuff than everybody else. Who the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are y'all paying me double? Because otherwise, I'm working double for no reason.
Sure. Sure. It happens. I know, especially like when you're on the floor, dude. You're always first in line to get fucked.
Yep. Maybe 4 people are doing most of the work, and then we're like a group of like supposedly 10, and you got 6 people not really doing anything.
Sure.
And you really realize it when, like, last week a girl had an emergency and somebody else had like another problem, so those 2 couldn't come to work, and it was nuts for like me and the other person that works. You feel me?
Sure.
Oh, it is what it is.
So, all right. Well, I guess that's about it. That's about the end of our show. We'll see if any of this makes it in, see how much space we have. Might not have space for this. We'll see. Any last minute thoughts out there?
Last minute thoughts. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Did your voice crack?
Yeah, it did. Early.
Times.
Through mine?
Yeah, but
yeah, it did.
Lucas
early.
mixed it.
It was really early. No, I think he caught it.
No, I caught it, but I held myself back because he asked me.
I had one little one in the beginning, which was little, and then I had the bad one when I was like, oh, yeah, I got here we fucking go.
Done.
Puberty part 2.
Sure. Yeah, maybe part 1.
I swear Lucas was something like, oh, he missed it.
So I was going to say, because there was no crack.
No.
In Booty, there was no crack. And we have 2 negatives now, depending on a positive note.
Sure.
But now we have to switch all that around.
Oh,
and
man.
how do we do that? How do you think we do that? Because you said your shit cracked twice. And we got the booty.
It did crack twice.
So we got the booty.
So both booties, each booty gets a crack.
Still on sedge.
So each booty has a crack. So there you go.
We good. Still on point.
There we go. So we got Seth and Mike 1. We got Laz and Mike 2.
Yo.
We got Lucas in Mike 3.
Hey.
And we got Alex in Mike 4.
Belgium, #1.
Belgium killing it. Boom.